2021 Expert Kenevo full 29-inch wheels versus Kenevo S-Works, top of the line everything. They're more similar than different. Super bummer on the KSL. It's got an interrupted seat tube, and that's the farthest down you can get that 170 millimeter dropper post into the bike. Definitely downsize if you have short legs like me on the KSL. The full power Kenevo is amazing. It's got a super short seat tube. Both bikes are size S5. Typically, I think extra large or S5 bikes suck unless they're long travel. Both these bikes are long travel, 170, and the full power is 180. I just happen to have a 150 millimeter dropper post for the KSL, so I'm gonna pop it in because I went on a test ride the night before and this bike felt like crap because I couldn't even reach the ground. Very long seat tube on the KSL, so I do not like that. Nothing but problems with these wireless dropper posts. They constantly come loose with the clamps right there, and I'm tightening them to torque spec, then over tightening them, and they just always come loose. Let me know if you have that kind of bummer like me. The Kenevo SL has a 68-degree seat tube, which is kind of unacceptable. It's gonna throw you way over the back. The full power Kenevo has an acceptable 73-degree seat tube. The full power Kenevo is on a 170 post, and I got that 150 slammed into the S-Works KSL. Head tube angle on the KSL is 64.5. Off the shelf bike, you can read it on Specialized's website. The full power Kenevo is a Franken bike. When you put the big wheels on it, it goes up to 65 degrees on the head tube angle. This explains why the full power Kenevo is an amazing trail bike once you put those 29-inch wheels on. Both bikes have the FSR suspension. The KSL has that sexy low slung shock, and the full power Kenevo's got that kind of hideous stump jumper up top shock. So we're gonna load the full power Kenevo and compare them. Okay, it's a pretty heavy bike. It's about 57 pounds. It's got downhill tires, some tire insert in the rear, and we're ruined by the weed whacker. Anyway, we'll keep going. So after the weed whacker guys sabotaged my video, I loaded both bikes up, and what I discovered, it was much easier to unload the lightweight bike. Loading it wasn't a big deal for me, but unloading it was a lot easier. That's something to keep in mind. Man, this is really fitting the scenery. The power deficiency of the Kenevo SL isn't quite as pronounced on flat trails, but as we climb farther up, it does kind of suck to not have the full power, but keep in mind, I'm not in super good shape. My dad's riding the full power Kenevo, and we're kind of a level playing field. I filmed this video about 1 month before the new Specialized motor came out. I'm very happy they came out with a quieter motor because this original SL motor was pretty noisy and underpowered. The Kenevo SL is a pretty good climber. It's a very long bike, so the front doesn't lift up, but I ran out of power and had to start pushing the bike up the hill. At some point, I decided to throw the bike on my shoulders, and you're able to put this bike on your shoulders and carry it up the hill because of its lightweight. Light enough to put on my shoulders. If you like struggling, panting out of breath, and pushing your bike uphill, the KSL, the Kenevo SL is your bike. On the full power Kenevo, oh, it feels so much better. The full power Kenevo is the absolute best climbing bike ever made. I can't even tell you how much of a weapon this bike is on the uphills. You put the seat down in turbo in the 50-tooth cassette gear, and this bike will literally rock crawl up almost anything. There is that advantage of the KSL being lighter because there's certain sections of trail you can absolutely not climb, but I would definitely recommend a full power bike. Switching back over to the Kenevo SL. This is a super steep section of trail, and I did not feel very confident coming down. I am riding the brakes, and then the trail opens up, and it turns into a super high-speed section. The Kenevo SL feels good, but it feels a little bit jittery because it's kind of a lightweight bike. It almost feels like an Amish bike. Up in the right corner, I see this car coming, and it's a perfect opportunity to test these high-end brakes. Wow. This is where you need to put your money, guys. Buy some high-end brakes. These are Code RSCs, and they are 10 times better than your Code Rs on your current bike. So I'm coming down the same section of trail on the full power Kenevo, and holy crap, this bike is the most inspiring bike I've ever owned or ridden on super steep terrain. Needed to make a couple of shifts there for this super high speed section of trail. The 57 pounds of full power Kenevo is absolutely amazing and very forgiving as I go off the trail right there. This bike is amazing at high speed, and it's super planted. Just think about a super heavy BMW. It's amazing at high speed. But I've got some lower end brake levers, and there really is a big difference there between high versus low brake levers. Full power Kenevo is very, very forgiving. Felt way more confident on the full power Kenevo on that downhill, and I feel super tall on the Kenevo SL. Like, I feel tall up in the air and not very confident. So I'm gonna do a couple ride bys in front of the camera and look at my riding position to try to figure out what's going on. So this is me on the full power Kenevo, and I'm able to get my body way down low. My center of gravity is very low. That explains why I'm super confident on the full power Kenevo. This is me on the Kenevo SL, and I am not able to get my body, my center of gravity low enough to feel confident on the steep terrain. So the full power Kenevo feels better in steep terrain, it climbs better, and it does better at high speed. But this isn't the end of the ride. We gotta keep comparing these two bikes. Let's go. I'm on the full power Kenevo here on a flat section of trail that's very fast. The bike is planted, but it's not particularly playful after you put those 29-inch wheels on the full power Kenevo. Kind of to my surprise, the Kenevo SL actually did better on this section of trail. The Kenevo SL jumps extremely well to whip that bike around because it's lightweight. I thought the Kenevo full power was going to take the lead, but it did not on flatter sections of trail because of pedaling above the speed limiter. Kind of a chundery rock zone. So I'm filming out here, guys, in deep in Trump country, cowboy country, and I'm struggling to find some gnarly terrain. So I come across this section of trail, I hit it as fast as I can on the Kenevo SL, and I'm completely shocked by how amazing this bike is in the chunder, the gnarly rock sections. The rear suspension is extremely refined and amazing. Specialized really put some secret sauce in this. It's better than any rear suspension I've ever ridden. It even blows the full power Kenevo out of the water. It's super plush, even on the harsh bottom outs, like right there. My dad, aka Filmer, forgot to press record half the time, so this is what I got of the full power Kenevo. The full power Kenevo felt pretty amazing with 29-inch wheels through this rock garden, but the rear suspension is pretty sloppy when you got gnarly bottom outs like that. Nowhere near as good as the Kenevo SL. Absolutely the best mountain bike I've ever been on as far as rear suspension. Let's talk about the suspension difference. The 38 has an E-tune on it. That suspension tune is really great. I do like the simple Fox 36 because you just set it once and forget about it. As where the 38, you can be kind of lost because there's so many adjusters on it. I have a Cane Creek double barrel on the full power Kenevo. It's a pretty good shock. It rides very similar to the X2. I'm pretty satisfied with both. but the E-Tune Fox 38 definitely takes the cake. If I could just get a super basic 36 with the E-Tune, that would be the one I would go for. Absolute dream descending on the Kenevo SL, but now we got a trail ride back to the car, and I'm fearing the trail ride. As you can see, the full power Kenevo is in the distance already. It's me, baby! Salesman Shredder! Actually, my name is Brian. Nice to meet you if you made it this far in the video. So this one gnarly section of trail full of rock gardens, this is where the Kenevo SL really showed its good side. This bike is like an angry Super Saiyan in rock gardens. It's just like angry Vegeta. Oh! The full power Kenevo was like a 7 Series BMW, just completely planted and confident at high speed. The Kenevo SL wasn't a slouch, but it was a bull in the rear end. The rear end kind of wallows around. You got to be ready for it. The full fat Kenevo is good in the corners, but not as good. And the full fat Kenevo definitely doesn't jump as good as the Kenevo SL. After that near crash, I just stuck with the KSL because it's such an amazing park bike. It's got just the right amount of weight to help it jump, but not too fat like the full power Kenevo. What a dream it was on the bike park. The Kenevo SL felt much better with the low bottom bracket. This full power Kenevo, the bottom bracket's raised up too high with the 29-inch wheels to feel good on blue flow trails and jumping. The Kenevo SL rear suspension is substantially more predictable than this old style FSR. Advanced and athletic riders are really gonna appreciate the Kenevo SL, but for average doodads like me, the full power Kenevo is the way to go, even though the rear suspension is just a little bit sloppy. And if you wanna watch more videos, it's gonna be right there.